You name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the New Orleans Saints. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. Thomas, the intended target. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
He'll look to throw. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it and run time, and he picks up a first down.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw here. Dancing to his left. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. They had it 1st and goal. 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Flex round! Flex round!
He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. Back to throw now on first down. Buying time to his left. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Well, it's all about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking to throw. That's complete to Meredith. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. They go play action here on first down. Being chased out left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers.
Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Some guys coaches have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it's a second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll drop the throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First grab for Thomas. It's good for a first down as well. First down, here's the run with Cook. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A good 1st down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Flex round. Flex round.
Back to throw. Forced. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. "27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
Oh, 4th and short, right at midfield. This is where you tell your offense, I've got faith in you guys to get me a few yards. And sure enough, they repay that faith and keep the drive moving with a 1st down.
Come on, let's go. What? 9.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And a short gain here down to the 22. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll set up to throw. The left side completion to Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw. It's caught. Jones. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this 1st half. He'll drop to throw. Steps. The Browns are in the end zone. Touchdown.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
So just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They start the drive with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. Cook following the penalty. Cook with a first down and much more. And gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And his first throw here is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. With that matchup, the adjustment that was made, you have a blazing guy on a blazing guy, and defensively, he won that battle.
The closing speed is the key. When you have a guy that fast and he can close at the end of a play and knock it away, that's a big deal, and we just saw him do it right there.
They're going to look to throw. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. He'll look to throw here. Man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. A good pickup there on first as a screen pass gets him 8.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much, maybe a yard down to the 23.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Flex round! Flex round!
Back to throw here. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer. A big spot now for the Saints as they'll indeed go for 2. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's caught at the 1. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
Well, Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 15.
Here we go. What? 90.
Now back to throw. And he's got Moncrief. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And they're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
That's it, baby. Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38. Ohio. Ohio. Flex round. Flex round.
Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play, obviously. Instead, he hit a safety valve.
It looked like 2 well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gain, because the offensive guys, hey, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right spots, tried to get in his sight line, tried to open themselves up. Just nowhere to go where they could gain yardage. How about the defensive guys, though? Did not lose leverage and kept their poise and made a really nice play.
And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Ohio! Ohio!
He'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
They'll look to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Saints move back within a couple of the lead. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Ohio! Ohio! Hey, boys, got 4 down.
He's back to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Yeah, the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This will be from 56 yards out. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
He's going to let it fly. And this is taken in at the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run with Cook. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Back to throw. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. The Browns on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Here we go now as they will again try for two.
Flex round! Flex round!
They're going to try and run. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
They were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh, don't make me have to lose it. No, hold up. Come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim.